We are rolling on July 13th in the summer of 2017 at UCLA. Where it's a beautiful sunny day. The sunshine is shining. There are no princesses outside our windows today. So eat your heart out in New York where it's snowing or raining or whatever. And we're about to hear about respect from Shima and her experiences with it. And she's standing in the power stance, feet a little wider apart. She's looking around the room, making sure that all computers are closed, telephones are away. She's making sure no one's reading, everyone's looking at her. She looks around the room and says to herself, I respect you, I respect you. As she looks around the room, she gives off that respectful vibration. She finds friendly eyes near the front and the center. Say your name, feel the love, start your speech.
Hi, my name is Reshma.
Hi, Reshma.
I'm going to tell you a speech about respect. So respect. What is respect? How do we communicate respect? To many different people, respect can mean many different things, but as a generalization, respect is a sense of admiration, consideration, and a way to just hold people in esteem. You know, there are many ways to communicate respect, and this past week, I decided to try to communicate respect to everyone non-verbally. The results were both good, bad, and ugly. So the good. Last Friday, my cousin and I went out to dinner at a restaurant, and the restaurant was incredibly busy and incredibly understaffed. We were sitting there, and I could tell that my waitress was, kind of struggling, and I feel in general sometimes waiters and waitresses are kind of misregarded, not really respected as they should be for a lot of the hard work that they're doing. So I decided to just be extra respectful. And as she was bringing us our meal, I was smiling, constant eye contact, and as my cousin and I were finishing our meal, I decided to, be respectful and, clean up my area and stack my plate so that when she came to get it would just be easier and quicker for her. So, as she came and she grabbed it, I could immediately see the sense of gratification in her eyes. And when she came and gave us the check, she had written, "Thank you so much for your kind gesture. It made my bad day a little bit better." Wow, that made me feel good. To help someone like that with just doing the smallest little act just helps turn somebody's day around. So now I'm going to tell you about the bad. So last Saturday was my last day of work, and I worked at a hospital where I worked with newborn babies. I worked early in the mornings, and my job was to give babies hearing tests. So one day, I was in the nursery, and I had just finished with the patient, and I overheard a nurse, and she was kind of frantically looking around for a chart for a patient. Me, knowing where the chart was and feeling extra happy that it was my last day, I ran to go get the chart, and I gave it to her. When I gave it to her, I was taken aback, for she kind of scolded me, saying, "Why do you have that? Where has this been? I've been looking for this everywhere," and she kind of just walked off. I was a little bit taken aback by this reaction, but rather than try to defend myself, I just decided to, let it go. It's okay, maybe she's having a rough day, maybe she's dealing with a hard patient. I'm not giving respect to receive something in return, I'm doing it because it's the right thing to do. So now the ugly. So on the 4th of July, I went out to a restaurant with my family. And as we were finishing, I did not really eat my main meal because I ate appetizers, and so I had a lot of leftovers. So as we were leaving the restaurant, there was a homeless guy, and he was asking for money, but I didn't have any cash on me, so I offered him, "Look, I have this whole meal, do you want it?" He said, "No, I don't want your food, I want money." And I was like, "I'm sorry, I don't have anything, this is all I have." But I just gave it to him and walked away. So, from this experience, I learned that, respect can be accepted and interpreted different ways, and sometimes not everybody understands when you're trying to be respectful, but that's okay. You know, you should do it not to receive something back, and just because you might not get the reaction you wanted doesn't mean you should stop trying to respect people. So rather than just this being a one-week experience, it's something that I would like to carry out with me, to just try to respect everyone that I come in contact with. Thank you.
What was the time? 3:55. Thank you. Let's start in the front today. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Emily.
Hi, Emily.
I thought your speech was really, really good. You were really straightforward when you were talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly, and what I learned. I really liked how you're very calm when you speak, and even though like you're trying to get a lot out, you're very like you get it out in like a good, stable way. And I really liked your story about like the lady with the tip. I mean the chat and she wrote thank you. I thought that was like super unique, and it was like a good example of a good.
Thank you, Emily. At the end, how can she improve?
Hi, I'm David.
Hi, David.
Everything was really good. Not bad, but like just walk a little bit more and like talk at the same time, but like it was good. Like just maybe a little bit.
Yes, I agree with David. When you started off to your first move, it's just a couple of steps. Move a little further. So you work on that side of the room, so it seems like more of a distinct walk. Well, Shima, really liked your speech. What? We only take two.
I was going to say like.
Oh, but we'll take three. Sure. What the heck? Go for it.
How she actually like looked around. Like when I saw her, she like moved in different directions, and I felt like she was engaging with the audience with just looking like that. Like I haven't noticed that with any like other
people making good quality eye contact.
Yeah, she did a really good job with that. So I was like, oh, I kind of felt like she was looking at me. I was like, no.
And that's good. Freshman, do you see where you're standing? You're a little far back. You're almost to the wall, so come on toward your audience. And remember, no ever podiums, and you want to be as close to your audience as you can without breaking their bubble. Well, let's talk about it. You, like a lot of others, wanted to get a handle on what respect was, so you defined it. If you want to do that, this admiration, consideration, and holding others in esteem, then let's go back to that at the end and somehow come to I learned that you can hold other people in esteem non-verbally as well, or something clever like that. Okay. On your first story, the good, excellent story, and you're trying to do the exercise, cleaning up the table and that sort of thing, was exactly what happens when you're repeating the mantra. You're being thoughtful and considerate of others, and her handwriting that to you was a good thing, and I like that very much. On the bad, the nurse seemed like she accused you almost of hiding the chart or doing something like that, which was kind of bizarre. And but you handled it well. Why do I hear talking back there? Do I hear talking? No, I don't want to hear talking. I want to hear silence behind me. And you handled it well by just repeating the mantra when you have that kind of experience where people are, falsely accusing you of something. And then finally, yes, I think you were correct in offering the food. When he says, I want your money, he's saying, I want to go buy drugs, probably. And it's why I don't give money. I will offer to say, I'll go buy you a meal, or I'll take you in and buy you a cup of coffee at Starbucks, but I will not give you cash. I've stopped that practice a long time. When you move, see how you're standing right now? You get out of the power stance occasionally when you're speaking. So remember that when you get to the next step, stay in, get to the power stance, stay in it. And remember to tie back to where you started with. So if you start with a definition, come back to it. But really excellent job, and you're a likable speaker, so you did a nice job. Thank you, Rick. Okay, next, and we need somebody else on deck. No name. Okay. Oh, you're taller than Shima, but don't leave the wall. No. I will adjust. Yes. Okay. Jeffrey is standing before you. She's on her phone. Put your phone away. Stop texting. Very bad. I don't know what's more important than being in the now in this class. Nothing can be more important on the phone. Thank you. Jeffrey stands before you, managing attention. Undo your hands with them free by your side. Looking around the room, making sure all phones are away, computers are closed. Everyone is looking up at you. You are saying to yourself and looking around, I respect my audience. You're going to remember to give 3 to 5 seconds of quality eye contact. Find friendly eyes near the front and the center. Say your name, feel the love. Start your speech, Jeffrey.
Hi everyone, my name is Jeffrey.
Hi, Jeffrey.
I'm a little bit nervous now. Can you give me a round of applause first? Thanks. Thanks. I'm here today with my stories all about this nonverbal respect experiment and what I've learned about. So last time someone told us about the meaning of respect in the dictionary. So for me, respect means to love, to help, to care, and to pay attention. And it is important to remember when dealing with others, you should always be respect. But what truly makes me understand this saying is the backstory. So it was a Sunday night. I was writing some really important paper in the study hall, and I was tired and agitated, so I said F words to my laptop. And maybe it felt my insult. It closed my word suddenly, and I didn't save my file. Have you ever met this condition? It's annoying, but it does happen sometimes. That's why there's auto recovery. So I opened the auto recovery, but it said it was broken. Damn, I have written several hundred words and I haven't saved anything. So, what I've learned, you might ask, how does that relate to respect? Well, what I've learned about from this backstory is that when dealing with others, this others not only means someone, it also means something. So, even to a laptop, you should be with your respect. And if there's no respect, something bad happened to you. And don't forget to save your files. Why did I choose this story as my best story? Because luckily I didn't have many bad experiences during the whole experiment. As for the good ones, well, still I didn't have any so impressive ones. But if I have to say something good I learned from this experiment is that I think respect can make one communicator more confident. When I'm talking with one and with my respect, non-verbally, I pay attention to him, I listen to him, and try my best to understand understand his ideas. And by doing this, he might feel my respect, and usually they pay respect back. So so once I feel his respect, I speak more freely, and because I know my idea will be valued and understood. But well, sometimes people, they do not deserve your respect, especially when you pay respect and they don't pay back. I'm sorry, I have to tell this ugly story. It's my roommate. We're from different cities. We have different habits. But I showed my respect non-verbally. I taught them how to clean the whole dorm because they do not do housework at home, and I remind them to do laundry because they always forget it. And I bought a basketball, but because we love it. But after a week, they started to blame me for not cleaning the whole dorm, even though I taught them how. They started to blame me for not help them doing their laundries. I was so upset. They started to take everything for granted. So what I've learned from this ugly story is that respect is from two ways. If you care someone but they do not pay back, if they do not show respect back, they started to pay attention, to take everything for granted. So not everyone deserves your respect. Respect those who deserves. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Okay, we're here. Yes, please.
Hello, I'm Manu.
I'm Manu.
You're very loud and the whole audience could hear you. I liked your stories. I'm sorry about your roommates.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Well, improvement. How could he improve? And start with your name.
Okay, hi guys, I'm Satoshi.
Hi, Satoshi.
Yeah, he did a good job. I really like your consideration for respect. And your example really helpful to understand about the meaning and definition of respect. So, I like your speech.
Okay. Well, Jeffrey, let's start at the very beginning. It's helpful to follow the prompt, okay? And so you have kind of an introduction. What was the time, by the way?
It was 4:43.
4:43, thank you. It's helpful to follow the prompt, so you have kind of an introduction. And so you said you had some kind of clap for Palos Verdes. Is that what you had? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then you said I'm here to talk about my nonverbal respect experiment and what I learned from it. And what we wanted to have is also a preview of a narrative. I'm going to tell you about the good, the bad, the ugly, if that's what you were going to do, or a different order or something. But tell us what you were going to do a little more specifically. Okay? Yeah. Want to be a little bit louder. And by the way, if you come late to class, the rule is you don't enter when someone's speaking. You listen at the door until the clap, then come in, okay? Or I'm speaking, it's okay to be rude to me, but not to fellow speakers, okay? So let's not enter the classroom during a speech, yeah. Okay, so you gave us your first story about being respectful to inanimate object, your computer, and that was sort of a strange story, but I guess it was sort of humorous, I guess, in a way. And although I have had a similar experience where one of my early books, I was down in Mexico working on it, and this was years ago, and the power went out in the village I was in, and it had nothing to do with me saving or not saving. And the whole chapter was gone, and I was really frustrated. Yeah, so I learned that lesson too. But Nonetheless, let's go on to what you said was your good story. And what I didn't really get from it was the specificity of it. You said, like, if you listen more intently, people will listen back to you and that sort of thing. But I needed you to have a specific example of you actually doing it. I was talking to my friend Clay, and he listened, and I was practicing saying the mantra, and I listened better, and I was a better listener while I practiced this or something. Remember, too, you want to move distinctly 3 times. 1, 2, 3, back to center. On your ugly story, you said that you have roommates that you taught to clean, and they don't clean, and they don't respect you. They play video games without headphones and keep you awake, and they don't care, right? And so you say, screw them is basically your response, right? Yeah. What I would say is, yes. You first want to try to give everybody respect in the beginning, but if they're clearly disrespecting you, you need to stand up for your rights and say, look, I live here too. Please put on your headphones. Please be respectful to me. I'm respectful to you. Please clean up your mess. I clean up my mess. And that's how you handle instances of disrespect, instead of just saying, screw you, you're an idiot, I'm out of here. But you try to stand up for yourself, see? Yeah. And then we had a segment, which is why I said I wanted you to follow the prompt a little better. The last part of it was I wanted you to reflect on what I learned. And I wanted you to have a better narrative. So I wanted the speech to sound something like this, an introduction. And I'm going to tell you about the good, the bad, the ugly. First the good, now the bad, now the ugly. Now, what did I learn? So that's my speech, see? And so the narrative helps us and the audience follow along more easily and understand you more clearly, okay? Other than that, good job, Jeffrey, and thank you for the 2 claps for Palace Verdes. Okay, next. Hi. Too far back. Okay, good. Kaylynn stands before you, managing attention, communicating respect, making sure everyone's looking up. Phones are away, computers are closed. Undo your hands, let them be easy by your side, yeah. You want to grasp them like that or hold them together. I know you're nervous, but just let them be by your side. And you look around the room and say, I respect my audience. I respect, undo your hands, and stand a little more in the power stance, feet wider apart, feet wider, as wide as your shoulders. Yeah, you're a tripod. Now be in the center of the room. You need to move over that way a step. Yeah, right there where the board is. Sound good? And say your name, feel the love, start your speech.
Okay. Hi everyone, my name is Lin Chen.
Hi, Lynn.
I'm so excited today to discuss about the respect. Respect is magic. Different people have different definition and understand of respect. From my perspective, the core of respect is equality and inclusiveness. This kind of respect is from our hearts rather than the surface. More importantly, this respect makes us feel warm and confident. I have an unforgettable experience about respect, which touches my heart. For the first part, it sounds like a bad story. I'm a girl who loves sports. Last year in November, I joined my high school boys soccer team since our school did not have girls soccer team. After I joined this soccer team, I felt very stressful. Compared to my teammates, I didn't know a lot of skills about soccer, and some of my teammates are really friendly and they teach me a lot about the soccer. Where some of them always ignore me and ignore my advice. But however, my coach was really nice. Although I'm not very good at soccer and I'm a girl, and he let me play every games. Once they have a very important game, and I played the right back. But this time an accident happened because I kicked an own goal. The problem is I saw a goal that come that way from. I tried to kick the ball out of our goals when the ball come to our goal straightly, but my leg moved a little slower than I expected, and my left foot touched the board and rebounded to our goal. So at that time, everyone on the field stared at me now, and I feel suffocated. But my coach let me continue playing. After this accident, some of my teammates said some ironic, like some bad language, like I played a wonderful goal. I feel so bad because it's my fault. Then my coach tried to help me to ease my embarrassment, and he talked to our whole team that he let me play our games because he wants to show us every teammates in our team have a chance to play the games. No matter you're a girl or I'm not good at it. And he also said the professional soccer player also will make the same mistake as me, so I don't need to worry about it. And he wants us to be more inclusive with each other because we are a whole team. So during his speech, our team was so quiet. I was deeply moved, but I still feel guilty. After this game, my teammates become more inclusive, and our relationship improved a lot. My coach, the speech of my coach, gave me a lot of experience. I know that the respect also includes equality and the inclusiveness. In a word, my coach influenced me a lot. I want to be a person like my coach to respect others with equality and inclusiveness. From this experience, I know that respect can make us feel better and give our society more positive energy. Thank you.
Thank you. 432.
My name's Brandon.
Hi, Brandon.
I like your story. I know that you said it was kind of like a sad, but I was just smiling when you said it afterward that this embarrassing moment. So you kind of changed something that you viewed at the time was negative, and kind of you can chuckle about it now, but still kind of learn your life lessons.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, it was under your hands. Let it be by your side. Get out of the habit of doing this. Just let the tension go. Yeah, let it shake it out. Good. Lynn. Well, you told a good story, and you told a story of the respect of your coach Don't be closed like that. Let your hands be by your side. Okay. Be open. I'm not going to hurt you with my. I'm going to help you with my feedback. Okay? Yeah. So you don't have to do this. Just be open. Yeah. You told the story of your coach being respectful to you as a woman, undo your hands, breaking the barrier of the man's world of soccer, right?
Yeah.
And you were the only woman playing, and he played you every time, even when you made a goal for the other team, which was kind of funny, but he kept you in, and he made a speech to the team about why he kept you in and why it was important that he played you every time, and he was trying to teach a lesson to the other boys or men or whatever they were on the team to be respectful to everybody regardless of their gender. And you said, I want to be like my coach who demonstrated respect. Did I get what you were trying to communicate? Yeah, good. Now, unfortunately, Liv, that wasn't the assignment. The assignment was for you to walk around the UCLA campus and the world and to repeat the mantra, I respect you, 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 everywhere you go. And then to report, it was to be an experiment, and then to report back to us what happened when you did that. And we expected some good things to happen, like your fellow classmate, the waitress felt better or something. Some bad things will happen, like the nurse said, you idiot, or ugly things will happen when you try the experiment. But as far as I can tell, you didn't do the experiment. And I would like you to do the experiment and redo the speech so we can hear you actually practice doing respect and telling us what happened when you actually do the assignment, okay? Because what you reported on wasn't the assignment. Okay? Now, let me say a few other things. Remember, in speaking, you want to move 3 times. You have nice poise, so that's good. And you were good with your voice. We could hear you. And you kept it under time, and that was good too. So just redo the speech again. And do you understand the assignment now? You saw from what others did, right? You say the mantra, I respect you, silently, and then report back what happens. It's a sociological experiment, okay? Thank you. Okay, thank you. Okay, you step forward, please, a tad back, just one step back, yeah, perfect. Okay, Robert's in the power stance nicely, looking around, making sure all phones are away, computers are closed, people are looking up at you. You're looking around and saying, I respect my audience, and you really mean it. You're saying the mantra, I respect you. Finding friendly eyes near the front and center, say your name, give a love. Start your speech.
Hi everyone, my name is Robert.
Hi, Robert.
So when conducting this respect experiment, I wondered if anyone actually would understand my intentions. Like I actually started to really understand that phrase, actions speak louder than words. So I realized that this respect experiment was a lot harder than I really thought. And I started to really understand that, it's actually giving me an eye-opening idea of what respect really means. So let me tell you an experience of my good, the bad, and ugly instances of my respect. So with the good experience, it was 4th of July, and I was happy I had a day off. And so I was actually not doing anything. I was actually studying because I didn't want to drive back to San Diego to visit my family for the 4th of July event because the traffic is horrendous driving back and forth back to LA. And so I was like, you know what, I'm just going to stay home. And plus, my family doesn't celebrate 4th of July because my dad is Native American. It's just like an event that we don't celebrate because it has a totally different meaning for us. And so my friend called me up and she's like, hey, I know you're not doing anything because she knows that I'm not going to celebrate 4th of July. And she goes, you know what, come to my party. I have this 4th of July party and I want you to really just, have fun with us here. So I said, all right, I'll come. Is there anything you guys need? She goes, no, just bring your presents. That's all you need. Just your presents is good. Just because come bring, all you need is your presents. So I came and I realized, you know what, I feel like I need to bring something there because they're going to have guests, other people there. So I bought the usual goods, beer, and more beer. And some food too. And so when I went there, they were surprised that I brought all this beer and food. They're like, whoa, why did you bring all this stuff? And it's ironic because these are the things that we were just going to go buy because we were running out of supplies. And so I was just showing them, like, I realized that you guys probably needed this. And then, I came there and I had so much fun at the party because I was meeting new friends, new people. And I realized that, this is a way of respecting, the people in there because, bringing, I don't want to be like that one guest that doesn't bring their own booze or anything. And they know that I don't drink alcohol. So they're just like, they were really happy with the fact that I knew that people have certain allergies and I bought certain things that they needed. And I also bought the food that they wanted too. It was like gluten-free and stuff, so I knew what people needed. And so let me talk about my bad experience. So my bad experience, so have you guys ever been to the gym here at UCLA at the Wooden Center or anything? You know how packed it gets, especially like everyone and their mom's at the gym. You're like, what the heck? Like I just want to go work out. And then you're like scourging around the gym looking for like an empty equipment. And then when you finally find one, you're like, okay, good, I found one. And then I hope no one's looking at me because sometimes you don't even know what you're doing sometimes. So I finally found an equipment and I finally got on. And then this one guy goes up to me and asks me the dreaded question, how many sets do you have, man? I'm like, really? I just barely got on this. And so I told myself, you know what? I respect him. I'm going to just let him have this machine because you know what? It's a good thing to do. Just let him have a machine. So I actually just got off the machine and then, just got off the machine and just pointed it out so he could use it. He did not want to he didn't thank me at all for this. You know what? He called me, man, you don't have to be a little bee about this. I was like, I didn't say anything. Just I respect you. So I realized that being kind to people at the gym doesn't really help you at all, at the Wooden Center. So we talk about the ugly. So it's not as bad as my bad experience, but I guess it is kind of ugly in a sense. So I'm in line trying to get food here. And sometimes the lines get really long. And I'm like, oh my goodness, the line is super long. And this one person, she doesn't even see me and my friend there. And she goes and cuts us. And following this respect mantra, it's not a big deal. I respect you. So just cut me, I don't really care. It's just one person. And then she goes and asks me, oh, I forgot my wallet. Could you hold my place in line? And so I just nodded my head. But instead, she thought, she goes behind the person behind me and says, I don't think he can speak English. Can you hold the person in line for me? So it's just whatever. Just trying to be nice and following this respect mantra, made me realize that respect is a lot harder than it is. And so, in conclusion, I realized that this respect exercise was supposed to make you feel awkward, supposed to make you feel vulnerable, because in the long run, it makes you have respect for your peers, because they all did the exact same respect exercise, and it really brings you what to expect forward in this class, and how to respect people, how to be a better motivational speaker, and how to be able to communicate people with others, not just verbally, but non-verbally as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your feedback. Yeah, okay, what would you like? Stand up, please.
Oh, hi,
Say your
my name is Ludovica.
What?
Ludovica. Ludo.
What?
Ludovic.
Ludo, Ludo.
Yeah.
Hi, Ludo.
So I like the way he moved, and I like his tone.
Yeah, good tone.
Yeah.
Confident, powerful, you know, he knew what he wanted to say and he said it. Thank you, Ludo. You're not allowed to speak to you. Yeah. You're not here.
Hi, I'm Linda.
Hi, Linda.
I really like your speech, but like an improvement, I would say, please be a little fast. Yeah.
Too fast.
Yeah.
Sometimes hard to understand them. Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah. Slow down, and remember you have an international audience, so English is a second language for many in the room. So adapt. That's what good, as you put it, motivational speaker will do. Robert, want your type speech outline to be in an outline form with the Roman numerals as I gave them. You put it all in a long James Joycean one paragraph, and you know what a paragraph is. One idea, so good, and a new paragraph, bad, new paragraph, ugly. You put all them in one paragraph, okay? So crazy. Well, so you got us through the beginning, and you got the preview done, and that was good. You told us that on the 4th of July, being a Native American, you do not celebrate the 4th of July, okay, which is your right, and that was an interesting revelation, so I appreciated that. Then, because that sort of showed some conviction on your part, so that was good. Then you told the story of your friend calling you and inviting you to a party. And because you were thinking the mantra, I respect you, when you think the mantra, then you think, how can I be a respectful guest, and I can bring a bottle of wine or some booze, or you don't just come empty-handed to a place where you're invited. You bring flowers or a bottle of wine or beer or something. And so that respect was well received, as you saw, and they were very pleased. So that was the essence of you showing respect and it working, right? Yeah. Now, on the bad, you were working out at the wooden gym, and you had trouble getting a machine, and some big hunk came up and said, how many more reps do you have? And you immediately got off the machine, and he said, you don't have to be a baby or a bee. What did B stand for? Baby or a bitch? Or what did he call you, a bitch? He called you a bitch? Wow. You have to be a bitch about it. Okay, yeah. Yeah, pretty competitive out there in the old wooden gym, huh? Yeah. But you handled it correctly. That's when you repeat the mantra, I respect you, when people are driving nails in your hand. I mean, that was a guy that really had respect down to the max, right? Okay. So then you told us the story of the ultimate insult of the girl that took cuts. And by the way, in the summer, we have all these, I'm making this broad generalization now, but it's reported in this class all the time. Cheerleader camps or these high school students, They have no respect for lines. They take cuts all the time in the food lines, I'm told. So I don't know if this is happening this summer or not, but anyway, this girl not only took cuts, but further insulted you by saying you don't speak English, so ask somebody else to hold the line because you were clearly a foreigner that didn't speak English. And you held your temper and repeated the mantra as the nails were being driven in, and that was good. So I like that. And then you told us what you learned. And so I thought that was a good presentation of the process of using the mantra to communicate respect non-verbally, and I hope you will continue to practice it. Thank you, Robert. Hi. Ludo, you certainly can. No typewriter, huh?
No, I had like trouble like finding a print.
No problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Ludo, hands out of your pocket. Yeah, no pockets. Okay, she's in the power stance. Well, you're near the wall like you're afraid of us. Don't be afraid of us. We're all friends here. Okay. She's looking around the room, making sure all phones are away. Computers are closed. People aren't reading. They're looking up at you. Undo your hands, shake out the tension. Yeah, good. Yeah. She's managing attention, communicating respect non-verbally, looking around the room, saying, I respect my audience, I really mean it. Finding friendly eyes in the front of the sun, saying your name, feel the love, start your speech.
Hi, my name is Ucla, and today I want to talk to you.
Hi, Ludo.
Today I want to talk to you about the results of my respect experiment. But first, I want to tell you that when I first got assigned this homework, I was really confused because I remember thinking, well, I'm a respectful person, so what is it that I have to change in my behavior? Like, how can I do this experiment? But I found out like soon after I got home, and paradoxically, this is the beginning of my good story. So I get home, and I was really tired and really confused from the homework. And then I just wanted to study because on Monday I would have a midterm. So I get home and I found my roommate with her, let's say, friends for the purpose of the speech, and they were in my room because it's a double, and they were using it as a living room, literally. Like they were watching a basketball game and listening to music. Food was everywhere. I felt really disrespected, and I got frustrated because I just wanted to sit on my desk and study for the midterm. So in that moment, I was faced with two choices. One, reminding them about my midterm as if I didn't do that enough times during the week already. Or two, start my homework for my oral communication class. So I picked the second choice, and I started repeating myself, I respect you, oh, again and again, while changing. And then I figured that maybe I could move and go study in the living room. It was true that my room was like the most appropriate room to study, and I felt comfortable there, and I had to do something more important, let's say. But it was also true that they were there first. So I got all of my stuff and I moved. And this is my good story. I think this is good because from that moment on, every time that they saw that I had to sleep or study or that I needed like my space, they would just leave and go to the living room. So this like showed that I got respect by showing respect. And I also achieved what I wanted, which didn't hurt. So now let's move to the bad story, because there's also a bad story that came with the experiment. So I went out on Friday with a friend, to explore the neighborhood because I'm new here. And we ended up going shopping, or I ended up going shopping. And without realizing it, my friend was a male, and this should be specified. Without realizing it, I made him wait a lot because I had to pick the clothes and change and try them on, and you know, he waited like roughly 2 hours, and it felt really bad. But I lost track of time, so yeah. Before heading back home, we had to go to the supermarket. We really had to go to the supermarket because the fridge was empty. So we go to the supermarket, and I was feeling guilty already, so I tried to be as fast as I could. And so I get everything as fast as I can, and I get to the register, and there's just, it's 7 p.m., and incredibly, there's just one woman in front of me, and she has like few items, so I thought, well, I almost made it. But then like the woman's credit card got denied once, twice, and then 3 times. And I was really tempted to show signs of impatience because I was feeling rushed by my friend, or by the guilt feeling that I was feeling. But then like I just smiled, and I just tried to be nice. And so when she looked back, she created like a long line, so I tried to be nice. But she kept on apologizing. And this is like the reason why I think that this is my bad story. Let me like break this down in 2 points. 1, I probably failed at expressing my nonverbal "I respect you," and 2, this is like a minor thing, like her apologizing, but that has like greater implications on women in society and like expectations of them, and like the generalized tendency of women to apologize constantly. So let's move to the ugly story, because the experiment also got me into trouble. So I come from Italy, so it's like 13 hours away by the plane, and it's there's 9 hours time difference. And I'm Italian, so family to me is everything. So at least once a week, at the very least once a week, I try to FaceTime my grandma and my aunt. But like it's been 3 days that we tried to FaceTime, but we couldn't because our schedules were not coinciding. And so like the other day, we were all like theoretically free, but my aunt told me that she had dinner and time was tight, so I just texted her and told her, don't worry, we'll just call each other tomorrow. Now, well, I thought that I was respecting her because I was not making her feel bad about not having time, and I wasn't like interfering with her plans. She thought about it differently. She thought I didn't care enough about calling her and telling her like my life here. And this got ugly because we were not straightforward. The text, like the tone of the text changed, and there was like, when you feel that something is off, you ask, and it's always nothing. So we got into that nothing spiral, and but then like the next day we called each other and we managed to get out of the nothing situation. So overall, intentions can be misunderstood, and it's important to just express yourself, and being straightforward is actually a sign of respect. From the good story, I learned that sometimes to receive respect, you have to give respect first. And there are like some behaviors and some thoughts that cross our minds, and it's really just up to us whether we act on them or not. And we should always try to be respectful, because that can affect like also the other person. For example, like the woman with the credit card at the supermarket, she had this tendency to be over apologetic, and if you show her enough respect, maybe she starts thinking that she deserves respect, and so she starts like treating herself with more respect.
Thank you. Okay, where are we? Here we go.
Hi, my name's Michelle.
Hi, Michelle.
I really like how deep thought they were really unique.
Okay, you're not here. Improvement.
Hi, my name is Daniel.
Hi, Daniel.
I really liked your speech and you were loud enough, but I think you lost eye contact sometimes. You looked down a little bit too much.
Okay, that's good. A couple of logistical things, Ludo. Don't wear white to class because
Right.
you
I remember you said it.
you look like a
I
head.
remember now.
You look like a head on the wall. Let's start at the top. Overall, good speech. You didn't show excessive nervousness, like you didn't belong here or couldn't do it. So, as I suggested to you privately on Tuesday, fake it till you make it. Just pretend you're confident, and it will come through. So let's start with your introduction. Let's have you have a little better introduction next time. Introduction should grab your audience, draw them in, make them want to listen, make them care about your topic. You said, today I'm going to talk about the results of my experiment. Not much of an intro, okay? And then you just sort of segued into the good story. So I have a little bit more of an intro that will grab your audience. So I really liked your first story and how you handled it non-verbally and non-confrontationally. And you just gave them respect, quietly went out into the living room and studied. But they got the message. They're not Neanderthals, and they saw that you were a serious woman and you weren't here to party hardy for the summer, that you want to learn something, unlike many of the people that are here for UCLA Summer School. And they respected that eventually. So that was good. And you showed them respect non-verbally, and it worked. So that was good. The story of you being a princess and not respecting somebody else's time while you tried on clothes for hours on end. The good part of the story is at least you're self-aware enough to know that you were being kind of boorish, and you probably wouldn't repeat it. Stay in the power stance, undo your hands. Yeah. Okay. So that was good. I like your observations about the woman whose credit card was refused 3 times, and the tendency of women to always want to apologize all the time and that sort of thing. That was insightful, I thought. When you moved, you got out of the power stance. It won't show on the camera, but when you move, stay in the power stance as you're speaking. Please write in pen and not on both sides of the paper. I prefer typing if you can make it happen, but don't move heaven and earth to do that. On the ugly, with your grandma and grandpa, that you basically, instead of doing face-to-face communication or telephone, you just texted and said, that's enough. You need to realize there's a generational thing here happening too, where text seems pretty impersonal and they're not used to that being enough. And that maybe is your lesson to learn, in this context. So I thought, as much as you were trying to be respectful, there's just some generational gaps there. As for what you learned, I like the way you summarized and went to each story and repeated what you learned from each story. So I thought that was excellent. The only other thing you want to do is, if you have a good intro, then tie back to the intro, come the full circle. Otherwise, Good job, Ludo, and good increase in confidence. Thank you. Next.
Oh, she got 5 minutes.
5 minutes? Thank you. Did everyone initial the roll sheet?
No? Thank you.
Oh, Michelle. Gosh, glad.